that the game is in your head. That's a dunk for Ben Simmons right there.
Tatum fires away, pumps it in. 51 for Jason Tatum.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Council Podcast, inspired by Sixers legend Ricky Council IV, and brought to you by myself, Josh Taggart, alongside Ryan Murphy. We got a special one today. The Jaylen Brown for Paul George swap just went down a couple hours ago. I was actually at work at a restaurant, and Murph was there with his family eating dinner.
Yep.
And I come out to bring out their food, and he goes, "Dude, the Sixers just traded Paul George for Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks or whatever." And I just assumed you were trolling.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, there's no shot. You're serious." But here we are.
Real. It's real. It was real. It's insane.
So we decided to come on here and do a little emergency podcast to talk about the trade. The implications for both teams, the rest of the Sixers signing so far, and who else we hope for them to sign going forward. So,
yeah. This is crazy. Of all the teams that Jaylen Brown could have gone to, I think the Sixers were probably at least bottom 3 of who I was.
The last team I would have expected for sure.
Apparently, the odds, the Sixers were the last team, the worst odds for where Jaylen Brown was going to go. And he came to Philly.
It's insane, dude. When you broke the news to me out at the restaurant, my first reaction, after just straight disbelief and shock. I think that's what every Sixers fan felt when they saw that notification. But also, once I saw the full details, I checked my phone when I went back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Once I saw the full details, I was just like, what? I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
Not just for the Celtics, but even for the Sixers, it took a minute to be like, what's the plan here?
Yeah. It's insane. I was still processing it 4 hours later. After we were done eating and stuff, I got to scroll through Twitter and see everyone's reactions, which literally every tweet on my timeline was the Sixers trade. It was ridiculous.
And then I had to continue working a 4-hour shift while all that was going down, not checking my phone. So I was so antsy to get out of there and check Twitter. It was like Christmas morning. I didn't even know where to start when I was scrolling the timeline.
Well, because as Sixers fans, we were like, all right, this is probably gonna be a pretty boring offseason.
Right.
Sign maybe Dean Wade or Mamu or something, use the mid-level. But trading for Jaylen Brown, and both of us weren't the biggest Jaylen Brown fans, I think, but just that's going to bring so much attention to the Sixers now next year. Fans would probably have gone into the season thinking, here we go again, just Embiid leading the team.
Yeah.
See, and it's the same squad.
There's just more excitement now.
Yeah, and I don't think they're done, and we'll get into that later. Some future things.
Yeah, so let's get into the trade from a value standpoint here. Yeah. I'll start off by full disclaimer. Jaylen Brown was my number 1 most hated, least favorite player in the league, followed by Brunson.
Yeah.
So it's tough because on one hand, I've always hated Jaylen Brown, and then now on the other hand, I have to root for him. Yep. And when I first saw it, I was like, dude, they have to be rerouting him to another team. I told you that when you dropped the news on me. I was like, they have to be rerouting him to another team for more value, just because this was such an obvious scam trade for the Sixers.
Yeah. It the fit, honestly, I think it's fine. In the starting lineup, I think he slots in fairly well next to Maxine VJ. The thing is, the passing isn't great. They don't really have a primary playmaker now that can.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But if we're talking value right now, I do think the Sixers got better in the value standpoint. I think the 2028 Clippers pick is still kind of confusing me. I think we at least kept a first round pick that year, from what I've heard.
Right. And then the other one's a 2031 unprotected, which like the Sixers are gonna have VJ in his prime,
Yeah,
Maxey probably still on the tail of his prime.
right.
So I mean that pick I'm not expecting to be some super high up thing where we're missing out on a key player there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, so the biggest thing for me in terms of value is I figured that just trading Paul George was going to cost you probably a first, maybe two firsts,
right.
just to get off of his contract and then
Yeah,
take on some expiring deals
yep,
of some random role players that add up to like $50 million. dollars.
yes,
I figured that's what you would have to do to trade Paul George.
yep.
That's what the consensus was. And the fact that we were able to trade him, attach those picks still, but then instead of getting back some expiring salaries, you get back a top 15 player in the league in his
Yeah,
prime.
yeah.
So like I was shook, dude. I'm
I
still
know.
shook. I still am processing it. Like
It's wild. It's wild. And like I think I might have mentioned to you or whatever, the fact that Mike Gansey in his I think it may be second week here, third week here, he drafted LeBaron Philon, which we were happy with, signed Dean Wade, which we were happy with, and now
yeah,
trades for Jaylen Brown. Like it's not a safe move by any means. That's risky.
no,
Let's go get it. Like that
yeah,
that takes some real guts to go out and make a
yeah,
move like that. And apparently the Celtics wanted VJ, and I'm assuming Gansey was like, no way. So the fact that he got this deal
yeah.
done with the value that the Sixers gave up, I give him props. And I
Dude,
hope,
if they traded VJ, I would have lost my mind
oh
and
my
stopped
God, that
being a
would have been
fan.
terrible. That would have been
Yeah, no.
terrible.
VJ
Terrible.
has to be fully untouchable in all trade discussions.
Yeah.
There's no way Gansey even thought about trading him.
No, no. And like just getting all, like you said, we expected if they were even going to think about trading Paul George, it would have had to been like the Al Horford thing from a couple years ago where they had to attach a first and a second and then got
Yeah,
like a Danny Green type player, like a role
yeah,
guy. But they didn't drop off in like player wise, production wise at all. They're, if anything, they're improving, at least
yeah,
individual wise. Now, the fit, Paul George was good around Maxi because the catch and shoot type stuff, but I just think Jaylen Brown, obviously a younger player. I think he's a better player. And it really just,
That's not debatable. He's
yeah,
definitely better. Any
yeah,
Celtics fan disagreeing is just coping.
yeah. And that core of Brown, Edgecombe, and Maxi, they're all under 30 years old. Jaylen Brown's 29. It looks different now. Like Philly looks different.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
future looks different, which is I think what we wanted. Like fans were, like I said, we're expecting it just to be like a calm, boring season going in again with all the same old guys that are going to miss games. But that's another thing. Jaylen Brown plays a majority of games
yeah,
and plays a lot of minutes. So, and that's when he had to take on a lot of offensive load with the Celtics without Tatum and stuff like that. Now that he kind of can play with Maxi and VJ who can
hmm
create, he doesn't have to be the main guy. I think value wise, the Sixers won it. Maybe that's me being a little bit biased, but I truly think that
No,
that
yeah.
move.
I agree that the Sixers definitely won this trade from a value standpoint. I definitely do have my concerns about the actual fit and what the Sixers' direction is here
Yep.
because like you just said, they don't really have a great passer playmaker in this starting lineup. I would say
Yeah.
VJ is probably the best one or has the highest ceiling as a passer and playmaker
Yeah.
on the current roster. Um, so it's gonna be a little clunky offensively, I think, because of that, unless they bring in LeBron James. If
Yep. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm just confused. I'm like,
Well, yeah, because we couldn't predict this. So right
no,
now it's just kind of like our impulse, like what happened, like where does these pieces fit into the puzzle? But yeah, it's ridiculous. And
yeah,
I think this is where, like, obviously, if they get LeBron, that he'll slot in the starting lineup. But I think getting Dean Wade to kind of be like a connective passer in that type of role and like an
yep.
off-ball like spot up shooter, now I think he slots into the starting lineup even
He
better.
slots in even better,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah. And
we lost a little bit of defense, but Paul George being 36 years old, like he's
yeah.
gonna get worse defensively every year. Jaylen Brown's still in his prime. But yeah, Dean Wade's defense is going to help a lot. And not a great three-point shooter, but he's capable, and I don't expect them to rely on him to be shooting a ton
No,
of threes. Like he's just going to have to be solid out there.
no.
And hopefully they can add enough depth to where he's not relied upon too heavily.
Yeah. And I think like Phylon, Jaylen Brown lineups look kind of nice. I think like if Maxi comes out, I think
Mhm.
Phylon has that creation and the playmaking ability. Maxi will definitely have to get better passing the ball, like facilitating, maneuvering
Yeah,
the defense, because like you said, there's not really much prime like creation and
yeah,
finding guys and stuff like that. So that'll be the interesting thing. Like,
yeah. I'm
is it going to be
also,
no ball dominant? But
yeah. I'm also hoping that Embiid sort of tries to take a backseat a little bit to the
yeah,
other three guys and sort of just becomes a pick and pop demon, raises his three catch and shoot 3-point percentage up to the
yeah,
high 30s. Um, and instead of being a ball stopper and forcing all those mid-range shots that he likes to get to,
yeah.
looks to pass the ball more. He's definitely improved as a passer and playmaker a
Definitely.
ton throughout his career. So
Yeah.
hopefully he takes another step there as as his body continues to break down on him. My biggest concern with the roster at hand is definitely the defense
Mhm.
because I don't trust Embiid as a rim protector whatsoever anymore. He's also way too immobile to switch onto anyone on the perimeter, and he's also not a good rebounder.
Yeah.
So there's still like my expectations for the core and the win now is definitely tempered. Like I'm not that high on the current outlook of the team next year. I'm just excited that it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think VJ will be a really good defender next year. I think he'll be a
Yep.
good perimeter defender. I think Jaylen Brown's not a negative defensively. Like
No, he's a plus.
and I
Jaylen
think
Brown's a
Nick
plus on
Nurse is
defense.
a solid defensive coach. That'll be really interesting. Like Nick Nurse has a really tough job this year, but he has all the talent in the world. So
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see how he kind of schemes up the offense, especially now that you have a guy in Tyrese Maxey that can get you 30 any given night. Guy Jaylen Brown can get you 30 any given night.
Yeah.
How do you factor VJ Edgecombe into it? How do you use
Yeah,
him?
we'll see what type of leap VJ makes.
Yep.
And then yeah, you got to factor in Embiid too, like you were saying, how much is he getting the ball?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they went from a 36-year-old max contract to a 29-year-old top 15 player in his prime. Only gave up two first round picks. And I think if things don't work out very well within this first year, you can probably get some of that pick value back just by
Yeah.
trading Jaylen Brown again.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm I'm not I'm not giving this trade like an A plus for the Sixers,
Uh-huh.
but I'm content with it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a swing for the fences, which I'm fine with because I'd rather that and try and switch things up than them going in with the same exact core minus Oubre plus Dean Wade.
Yeah.
We knew
Yeah.
that team was not winning a championship.
Right.
So at least give
Right.
yourself some upside next year with
Yeah.
a guy like Jaylen
And
Brown.
we still have plenty of picks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we had like 8 first round picks in the next like
we
8
had
years
them like
or something
every
like
single
that. Yeah.
year. And
So
one year, 2028, I think we had two. So
yeah, we have our own first next year. So
yep.
they'll be fine. Now do you want to transition to like the Celtics outlook, kind of things like
Yeah, we
what do
can
they
just
look like?
briefly touch on it.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that they added those two first round picks, but I don't really get it because you're not that like I feel like there has to be I can't tell the direction
Yeah.
because it's like you don't want to punt Jason Tatum's prime, so maybe they're using these firsts to ship them off again to bring in some other piece with
Yeah.
the current core. Um, Obviously at full health, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Paul George, Mitchell Robinson, amazing defensive lineup right there, and then
Yeah.
whoever else the fifth starter is. But the Celtics have never had, well, I guess Kristaps, but the Celtics have never had their main core guys as at risk of injuries as they do now with PG and Mitchell Robinson, and I think
Yeah.
that could be a concern, especially with them not having any crazy depth at hand.
Hmm. Yeah, and it'll be interesting because like I'm assuming they'll probably do like Pritchard, White, George, Tatum, Robinson. I don't know. But like their Missoula type of offense without that stretch five, like do you think it can really like win a championship like just chucking threes like they do? Because they had obviously Kristaps
Yeah,
was
they're gonna have to
the end of
change
the
their
year.
style up for sure a little
Yeah,
bit.
and that was their downfall last year. Like against the Sixers, they were just chucking threes and
Yeah,
missing them with
yeah, they
which I
couldn't
guess
hit.
Paul George might help with that, but he also might not be available in the playoffs. Like I think
Yep.
him getting suspended 25 games was
Yeah.
actually the best thing for the Sixers this year. Unfortunately, but he was fresh. He was right peaking
Yep.
right into playoffs. Had those fresh
That's not
legs
going to
that
happen
worked well.
again.
I
So
don't
the
think so.
Celtics are going to have to find a way to get him through the season at 36 years old,
Yeah.
taking up a third of the salary cap.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess their thought process is now we only have Paul George for 2 years, and then we'll have a ton of cap space to go out and get like a superstar, hopefully, once his contract expires to pair with Tatum and Tatum's back end of his career. So I don't
mm,
know. Maybe that's their thought process. I think the East is really like jumbled right now. I could see
yeah,
you ranking the Knicks first, or the Knicks will probably be first because they just won the title. But even them, they just lost Mitch Robb, so I think they're gonna get worse. But like the Raptors are up there, the Cavs, the Pacers, the Pistons,
yeah,
Sixers, Celtics, Hawks, Heat. Like the East is gonna be a gauntlet next year, and
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's enough to touch on the Celtics side of it. Do you want to get into what a potential LeBron signing could look like?
Absolutely.
So, for anyone who didn't see, Mike Gansey's brother, what's his name? Is it?
Steve, I want to say.
Okay, I
Could
think
be
it's
wrong.
Steve
It starts with an
Gansey,
S, maybe
Gainsey,
Gant.
however you
I don't
say the
know.
last name, posted a picture on Twitter
Yeah.
of it was a group of guys and
It was like
LeBron
high
James
school
is in it.
players. Yes.
Is it Mike?
It's Mike. It's Mike next to
Okay.
LeBron in the picture.
Yes. And what did he say? What did he say in the tweet?
It was like the eyes emoji, I'm pretty
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And Mike Yancey also has a history with LeBron in Cleveland. We know there's a connection there.
yeah.
We saw Shams tweet out that LeBron could be willing to take a minimum contract to join a contender.
Yeah.
Um, and when you look at the fit with the Sixers, like we were talking about them desperately needing a passer playmaker, LeBron, even though he's 41, 42 years old, is literally the perfect fit to start at that power forward position.
Yeah.
Um, so I really don't think it's that crazy of a long shot.
I don't think so either. I think listen, if he really doesn't care about money, which I don't know, maybe
There's
he's
no
just
way he
saying
cares
that.
about money, dude. That
Maybe
guy
not,
has
but
to
maybe he
be
does.
so
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's say he doesn't care about money. Let's just
Yeah.
think about it like fit player wise. Like you said, he wants to win, obviously. It's his last year. He wants to win. This is like I think he has a better chance of winning with the Sixers than he does Golden State if he goes there. Like
100%.
like Maxi, VJ,
He would
Jalen.
have a better chance with the Sixers than with the Warriors, the Cavs. I think the Heat are the one that
I think he'd have a better chance with the Sixers, honestly.
really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, dude, if they get him on the minimum and then they still have another $10 million to spend elsewhere
Yeah,
to
if
add
they
one more
do give him
rotation
a minimum.
player, you could
Yeah.
bump Dean Wade to the bench. So then you've
Right.
got Phylon, you got Wade, and then a bunch of little flyers down the
Edwards,
bench.
Barlow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody can step up and take a leap. We'll see how Huckporty is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they can somehow come away with LeBron, I mean, even if it turns into nothing and the Sixers get bounced in the second round again,
Yeah.
at least we got to witness LeBron James playing for our team for a year, dude.
Right. Well,
Like that would be awesome.
and back in I think it was 2019 was his big like free agency, right? When he went to LA. He was heavily
Hmm.
considering the Sixers. Like they were his second team, I'm pretty sure. He's always spoken like highly of the city. I think it's really realistic. Like
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know anything. We don't know if he's really going to take a vet min or whatever kind of contract it looks like. But with the connections and the relationships and the team fit and the championship opportunity, I think it makes perfect sense for him. Who knows though? It's LeBron. He
Yeah,
might go to Golden State. He might go to Miami. Who knows?
yeah.
But yes, I do think it would be a great fit. And I think the Sixers could win the title with. I think they would be probably favorites in the East if they get LeBron.
Favorites in the East.
On paper with Maxey, VJ, Jaylen Brown, LeBron, and Embiid, I don't see any team
Dude,
quite on the East on paper.
I really just don't trust Embiid's health and physical form anymore.
But
But
even if you don't, like him and Paul George were out like a lot this past regular season, and they still found themselves into a semi-favorable spot with Maxey playing 48 minutes a game.
yeah,
Cone
you're
playing
right.
45
You're
minutes
right.
a game. Like having Jaylen Brown to take the pressure off them. LeBaron Philon, I think, is now getting kind of underrated in this whole thing because I think he's
Yeah,
extremely good.
he can
Um,
be very impactful right away.
and then if you add LeBron, like yeah, there's definitely risk. There's definitely risk of it being clunky and injured and what is going on, but there's also the upside of a really stacked team. So
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents on that.
yeah.
All right, so my co-host Josh had some technical difficulties, so I'll be wrapping us up here. Thank you guys so much. This was just our reaction, our impulsive thoughts to this Jaylen Brown trade. Obviously, I was at dinner. Josh was working, so we didn't have much time to really think and digest all this, but it was a crazy trade. You guys heard our opinion on it. I'm sure a bunch of different discussions will be had the next couple of days, really about diving deep into it, what it means for both teams. But yeah, and then obviously this NBA offseason has been awesome. So please keep following along. If you enjoy this content, please like, please subscribe. It helps us a ton, and we keep wanting to push out good content for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Thank you so much. The council out. Peace.